To show you how to set up an SMS campaign using a keyword. First of all, click on My SMS Campaigns. Next, click on Keyword, and then you'll see a number of orange tabs up here. Now, I already have a demo campaign set up, so I'm going to take you through how that works. If you have a number of different campaigns, they'll appear at the top here in the various orange tabs. So let's click on Demo Campaign, and it's loaded up my particular campaign that I'm going to show you now. The first two steps of the campaign you must fill in, and the rest are optional. First of all, I'm just going to show you how to fill in these two steps, and then I'll take you through these optional extras. So in order to edit the step, you need to click on the plus sign here. Here I've given the campaign a useful title that helps me to remember what the campaign is about. Then I've put in a tracking name here, so for example, if you have a sales team with a number of people, you can assign this campaign to each person, and there is a unique keyword as well. If you have a short code, then you can select the keyword from this drop down menu. In this example, I don't. The campaign message is the message that the person receives on their cell phone when they text in the particular keyword that I've got here, demo. Once they do, then they receive this message, welcome to the VIP club. If they've previously done this, then they'll get this message instead, you are already subscribed to our VIP club. When you finish this step, click on the save button. The next step is to choose your phone number. Here I've only got one number on the system, so I select my number, I click update, and then it will appear here on the left hand side, and then I click save. The remaining options are useful, but they're not required. Let me show you how they work. If you want to have double opt-in subscribers, it means that the person texting in must verify that they really do want to receive information. And you can do this in a number of different ways. In this particular example, I'm going to show you how they can reply via SMS, but the same principle applies with keyword and with email address. So let's check reply with name. You can see here I've already pre-populated these two fields. The first one is what they receive on their mobile phone as soon as they text in the keyword demo. And once they've done that, then they will receive an updated message saying, thank you, you're now subscribed to receive updates from us. The final and third message they will receive is the one I showed you earlier on, where it says welcome to our VIP club. We recommend that you set these messages to be received before the main campaign starts, but if you prefer you can do it afterwards. The default time wait for response is 1 hour. In other words, when they get this message back on their mobile phone, they have up to an hour to subscribe to the campaign. If they don't do that, then they remain blocked on the system. If you're running a double opt-in campaign, we don't recommend that you set this to active, because it would mean if they didn't complete this verification process, they would still get opted in. So leave this as block. Once you've filled in these different fields, press save, and then this becomes active. If you wish to receive a subscriber notification, click on the plus here and then select yes. You can choose to receive notification via SMS, email, or an electronic voice. In this particular case, I've chosen to receive a message via text message. Expanding this field here shows you the message you'll receive on your phone when they subscribe to your keyword campaign. Here we can use these variables so that you know which campaign they're subscribed to and what their phone number is. Once you've filled in these fields, click save and then move on to the next optional step. If you have a large number of subscribers subscribing to your campaigns, you might wish to split test the received message that they get on their mobile phone once they're subscribed. Remember, the message they get on their phone once they subscribe to your campaign is welcome to the VIP club. In the split test example, you might want to change that to something else to see whether or not that affects the number of people subscribing, in which case you would click on yes and choose a welcome message and then click save. Finally, in the advanced campaign option, you can specify an autoresponder or even start another campaign. Let me show you what I've done earlier on. By clicking yes and then save, down here you will see a number of messages that the person will receive on their mobile phone after a number of different days. I've set the messages to be received at 12:30 in the afternoon after 1, 8, 15 and 22 days. If you wanted to, you could change this to a repeat message that's sent out at a particular time every week. Let me show you how that's done. In order to add another autoresponder, I click on the plus sign here, and then I'm going to give it a useful title so I know what it means, and I'm going to click on a set day. I'll choose my day as Tuesday at 11:15 AM and then click save. You can see now that this repeat message appears in the sequence. That's campaigns over with. If at any time you wish to delete the campaign, you can click on the plus sign here, then click here to delete the campaign, and you can move the subscribers on to a different campaign if you have one, and you must type in your password in order to verify that you really do want to delete the campaign. I'm going to show you how to create a contest. As before, click on My SMS Campaigns and then this time navigate to Contests. As before, you can see any existing contests you have in the orange tab bar at the top here. If you wish to create a new contest, simply click on Create New Contest, give it a title and then a keyword. I've already entered some information in this demo contest I'm going to show you now. First of all, you need to describe your campaign and the messages. Give it a suitable campaign title. Use a keyword. This is the keyword that someone will text in from their mobile phone. Winning number means every 100th person in this particular example will win. If you check this box, then there's only one winner. That means after 100 people have entered the contest, the campaign is finished. Leaving it unchecked means that every 100 people can win whatever prize you've got. As before, you can enter a tracking name or information here. If you have shortcode enabled on your system, then you can select a keyword from here instead. The winning message is as follows, something along the lines of giving somebody information that they've won. The loser message, sorry you didn't win. If the person has already entered the contest previously, then they'll receive this message on their phone. Click Save once you've made those changes. The second step is to choose your phone number. In this system I currently just have one number, so I select the number, click Update, and then the number will appear here, and then I check Save. The remaining options are not obligatory, but I want to show you what there is in each one. If you want to receive notification of the winner, then check Yes here, and then select your preferred method of notification. In this example I've chosen SMS. You can specify these variables here so you know which number and which contest keyword has won. Click Save when you've made these changes. Finally, in advanced campaign options, you can set an autoresponder as before. I won't go through this because it's covered in the first video, how to set up a keyword campaign. And then you're done. That is how to set up SMS contest campaigns. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a survey or trivia quiz. First of all, go to My SMS Campaigns and then select Trivia. Trivia can either be short quizzes or just surveys. In this particular example, I've set up a trivia quiz. You can also mix two types of quizzes together. You can have short questions with one correct answer or just feedback. To create a new trivia quiz, you select Create New Trivia and then give it a title and a keyword and then click Save, and then proceed on to fill in the details below. I've already created a trivia demo to show you how it works in practice. You have to complete each section of these steps, same as before. So I've given my title here, Trivia Demo. You can add in additional tracking information should you choose. If you have shortcode enabled, you can select from here for your keyword. And then you need to fill in the following sections. The welcome message, which is the first message they will receive on their smartphone or mobile phone. If they get the correct answer, then fill in this section here. Incorrect answer would be as follows. And then if they've already taken the quiz previously, they'll get this message on their mobile phone. And finally, once they've finished, they'll receive this message. Once you finish this, scroll back up again and click Save. As usual, the next thing you need to do is find one of your assigned numbers. This is currently an unused number on the system, so I've selected it and clicked Update, and then Save. Finally, the most important part is the actual questions and the answers. I've pre-populated this particular demo with some answers already. Let me show you how that works. I can click on the down arrow key to look at the examples, or I can select Edit. You can see here from the questions that in this particular case I've added in a question which has a right answer as well as two wrong answers. The correct answer is specified by the tick box here. If you don't want to have a question with right or wrong answers, perhaps if you're doing a survey, then you can select General Response. And you'll see that I do that in the final question in this series. So click Save and then go on to add the next question by clicking on the plus arrow up here. In the second question, I've again got 3 possible answers. You're not limited to the number of answers that you can have whilst you're creating the quiz. As I mentioned earlier, in this third question, there is no right or wrong answer. So in this particular case, I've specified that it's a general response question rather than a right or a wrong. Let me just finish off by showing you how to add a final question. So click on the plus green button here, then you need to specify when to send the question. Normally you'll want to do this immediately and in sequence, so select immediately. Although you can select a day, for example if I wanted this to appear on the second day at a certain time, I could choose from the correct time in this drop down menu, but in this particular case I'm going to select immediately. So again, this particular question has no right or wrong answer, so it's a general response. Then I click save. If I wanted to add in another multiple choice question with one correct answer, I would click on the plus button here. I'm going to send it immediately, and then I'm going to ask my question. It's not a general response question, so I select no. Then I'm going to add 3 answers, one of which will be correct. What you put in this field here determines what the person needs to reply on their mobile phone. In this particular case I'm choosing numbers, but you could actually make it the day of the week, which would also make sense, but they would have to type in more information on their phone. So usually it's nicer just to use a number because it saves them time. I'm going to add in another option now. And then finally I'll add in the correct answer. You can put the correct answer anywhere you like. So I check this box here to say that it's correct, and then I select save. And then finally press the save button up here and we're done. For existing trivia quizzes you can add as many questions as you like. For advanced campaign options you can add in an autoresponder, but this has already been covered previously in the SMS campaign section. And that finishes off trivia and polling campaigns. In this video I'm going to show you how to create viral SMS campaigns. As usual, click on My SMS Campaigns and then select Viral at the top here. To create a new viral campaign, simply click on the Create New Viral Campaign orange button here. I've already created one and I'm going to show you how I've done it. First of all, step 1, describe your campaign and message. I've called it Viral Demo. Tracking info is as usual. You can specify a number or a name for tracking purposes. Keyword, in this particular example I've chosen pizza. If you have a short code then you can use that instead. Get 10% off your next delivery by showing this text to your driver. And then here what you want to do is put an expiry date, and I'll explain how that works later on in this video. If the person has already taken advantage of this deal, then they'll receive this text message instead. Click save when you're done. Step 2, deal sharing message. Immediately after they've received their first message for the discount, they will also get a second message which offers them a chance to get their next meal free. In order to get started they will need to text the keyword share as is specified in this message here. Once they do that, they will then receive a reply share code message. You can choose how many people will need to receive this code in order for the offer to be redeemed. Scrolling down here shows you the winning number. This number must be the same as the winning number. Once they've shared the code with one of their friends, they will receive this message. The variable %to-go% will change automatically depending on how many shares they've done. Likewise, this variable here, %code%, will do the same. A random code will be generated by the system. Finally, once they've got the required number of shares, they will receive a winning message. Click save once you finish this. Next, you need to choose a unique phone number on the system. I've already done that here, and click save once you're done. You can also offer an expiration date. As I mentioned earlier on in the campaign section, I put in a variable %date%, and this is where you put in the number of days that the redemption is available for. Click save once you're done. This is optional. You can turn it off by clicking no. I'm going to leave it as active. Finally, another option is to receive notification when somebody has shared the required number of codes in order to receive their free meal. In this case I'm selecting SMS. This can be the mobile number of your business. Finally, when someone has shared the code with the required number of friends, you can also receive notification either via email, text or robo voice. and these are how you fill in the fields. If you choose SMS, then you need to select your office number here. So you can specify the phone number of the winner by putting the variable %phone number % here. If you want to choose email, then fill in the appropriate variables in these fields here. Using RoboVoice means you will receive a voice with one of either US or UK male or female to the specified number. I'm going to leave it as SMS. In advanced campaigns, you can specify an autoresponder message. Let me show you how that works. If you click yes and then save, you can add in autoresponders. This has been covered already in the first video, setting up an SMS campaign. Note that you can actually share variables within the messages and specify the number of days that the offer is available. In this particular case, I've sent the initial message after 120 minutes. I'll click on plus, then I'm going to give this message a title. I'll call it message 0, and if I specify 0 here, and it will allow me to put in a number of minutes. So for example, if I want a message to go out 10 minutes after the share campaign has started, I can put a message here. And I can use the date variable to say how many days this offer is valid. In this case I've chosen 4. That's viral SMS campaigns done. In this video I'm going to show you how to set up a loyalty campaign. As usual, click on My SMS Campaigns and then navigate to Loyalty. In order to create a new campaign, click on Create New Loyalty Campaign. I've actually set one up already, so I'm going to show you how it works. So I'll click on Loyalty Demo and show you what I've done. First of all, you need to describe your campaign and the messages. So click on the plus button and then edit this information here. I've called it Loyalty Demo. As usual, you can enter some tracking information should you choose to do so. Winning number means the minimum number of loyalty keywords that must be texted in order to get the reward. The winner message is what the person receives on their phone once they've collected the number of loyalty points required. Here I'm actually using an expiration date, and I'll show you where to put that later on in this video. This message is to encourage the person to carry on with their loyalty campaign. The %to-go% variable shows them how many points they still need to get in order to claim their reward. If they enter in the wrong keyword for this particular loyalty campaign, then they will receive this message on their phone. Likewise, if they enter the same keyword more than once, they'll receive this message. Once you've filled in these details, check Save and then move on to the next step. The next step is to choose one of your available numbers. I've already done this. Let me update it and show you the changes. Now I have the new number here and then I click Save. The remaining steps are optional, but they add some powerful features, so I'll go through those with you now. The first one is to set an expiration date. Since I use the %date variable in this first step here, I am going to enable an expiration date, and that will be 3 days after the person first texts in their first message. So I'm going to click Save here. If you wish to have double opt-in subscribers, then you'll need to set this as active here. You can choose keyword, email or name. Here's an example with the name fields filled in. As I mentioned before, in the keyword campaigns, we recommend that you set this to block so that they only have 1 hour to reply in order to start the loyalty campaign. In this option, once the person has successfully managed to claim all their loyalty reward points, this will allow you to receive a notification. Click the plus sign to begin. So I'm going to check this as yes. And here you can see that I want to get an SMS message on my mobile phone, and these variables here, %phone number % and %campaign % are unique to this campaign. %name % will only work if you've required them to fill in their name as part of the double opt-in subscribing process. Otherwise, don't put that here. So click Save once you're done. Advanced campaign options include an autoresponder sequence. So I'll check yes to show you what I've done here. After 10 minutes, the person will receive another text message on their phone asking them if they wish to receive information about our current offers. If so, reply with the keyword offers to get started. So if I want to edit that here, I can do that by expanding that out and add in this extra word and select Save. The next step is to include the loyalty keywords. So check on the Loyalty Keywords tab to start. Here I've entered in a variety of keywords which must be texted in by the person in order to claim their reward. These keywords have an expiration date. In this particular example, for the first 5 keywords, the keywords that must be texted in only lasts for 2 days and then it expires. Later on you can see that the keywords last for a whole week. You can choose to have these dates overlapping with one another, and you can specify how long they're going to last. By clicking on the QR code icon here, you can see a unique QR code that's generated for each one of these keywords. You can import the loyalty keywords by using a CSV file if you wish to do so. I'm just going to demonstrate here how to add one of the loyalty keywords manually by pressing the plus green button. Enter the date the keyword is valid for. I'm going to select today's date, and then the expiration date I'll also select as today, and then I'm choosing a keyword here, so I'll click save. If the date or the keyword already exists, then you won't be allowed to do this. You can see here that I have a loyalty keyword that is actually running today, so you must select a unique start date for the keyword. If I select the 8th here instead and expire on the 8th, then it allows me to enter in the keyword. You can see that this keyword is overlapping the original one. This one starts on the 7th and finishes on the 9th. This one starts on the 8th. The important thing to remember is that the keyword start date must be unique. In the Loyalty Winners tab, you can see the winning phone numbers that have successfully texted in 5 keywords in order to redeem their reward. Loyalty Triggers is an advanced feature for anyone who is a programmer. You can pass variables via a PHP script, but this won't be covered in this video. In Loyalty Logical SMS, if a person texts in a certain keyword, then you can initiate another campaign. So for example, if someone texts in the keyword offers, then it will initiate the viral demo campaign that has been previously shown in this video series. You can choose to keep them on the current list or remove them from the list when they do this. You can see from my SMS autoresponders that I gave the person the opportunity to type in the keyword offers in order to find out information about the viral demo campaign. So if they do this, then they will get added to the viral demo SMS campaign and kept on the current list. If I wanted to remove them from the current list, then I would click edit here and then uncheck this box and then click the tick button here to save, and now they've been removed from this current list. I'm going to leave them subscribed to this list instead. That's the loyalty campaigns video training finished. In this video I'm going to show you how the notifier works. The notifier is primarily for a situation where you have a number of stock, perhaps it's properties or vehicles, which have unique codes associated with them, and somebody wants to find out information about that property or vehicle. The way we set this up is as follows. You click on Create New Campaign and then give the campaign a suitable title. I've already created a campaign here, so I'm going to take you through the steps that I've done. First of all, you need to describe your campaign, so you give it a title, click save, and then go to the phone number. Choose one of the phone numbers you have on your system. I've already done that. Once you've chosen a phone number, click update and then save. The next step, which is optional, is to select a notification. When somebody texts in information about this particular property, vehicle or whatever item you have, you would like to receive a notification. You can do this via SMS, email or robo-voice. In this example I've chosen SMS. The %keyword % and %phone number % enable you to find out who is looking at that particular keyword. Once you've entered in the information, then click save. The next section is the most important, as it enables us to add keywords and messages. This table here shows some information I've already entered into the system. In this example I'm choosing properties. The keywords here represent the information that the person needs to text in to the associated number that you've chosen for this campaign, and the message is the information they receive back. You can enter information in 2 ways. The first way is to import a comma-separated variable file, or you can add in information line by line. When you download the CSV sample file, it will give you the template that you can use in order to add more campaigns. I'm going to click on the plus sign in order to show you how to add these manually. Type in the keyword that you want the person to text in order to find out information about your property or whatever it is they're looking for information about, and then click save. In this particular case it tells me I already have this keyword, so I'm going to change it to property 6 and then click save. If I go back to the keywords and messages section here, you'll see that there is a new entry, property 6. Now I've made a mistake here, so I'm going to correct it by clicking on the pencil icon and change the text here accordingly. The remaining options for the keyword notification are very similar to other campaigns. You can have an autoresponder and you can perform logical operations, but these have been covered previously. That finishes the SMS Lead Notifier campaign video. The SMS Campaign Scheduler serves two purposes. First of all, if you have any autoresponders active or on any of your campaigns, events will automatically be created here to show what is scheduled to be sent out and when. If you want, you can click on any of these existing scheduled posts, and I can do that simply by clicking on one of them and then selecting Event Details. I can add in a new phone number manually if I wish to do so. This section here shows you the number of active subscribers on the system. Currently there is only one. I can edit the date by clicking on here. If the finish date is on a different day, then the campaign will run over several days at the time specified in this field here. Clicking X removes any temporary edits I've made, or if I want to update what I've done, then I click Save here, or just close. If I want to enter in a new event manually, all I need to do is click in any of these available days, select Event Details, and then fill in the relevant sections. Here you can see the number of different campaigns available. The super list would enable me to send a text message to all of my lists. Be very careful when doing this. Since I'm logged in as the administrator, I can also send a text message to all the accounts that are registered on this platform, but I'm not going to do that. Typically this would only be used for important administrative information for all subscribers on the lists, and should never be used in normal circumstances. Here I'm going to choose my demo campaign. If I don't choose an individual number here, then this message will get sent to all the subscribers on the list. Typing in my message here completes the process, and then I need to scroll up and then click Save. I can switch between day, week and monthly views. Clicking on this event here enables me to see the details. The SMS Campaign Scheduler is a very powerful feature of the text messaging platform, and it is recommended that you go through this carefully and test out any campaigns you set up via the scheduler. The interactive voice response voicemail system is a very powerful feature of the text messaging platform. It enables you to control call flows and even subscribe people via phone when they call in. In order to get started, you need to load up a number of MP3 files which contain various pre-recorded messages. In this particular example, I've created a greeting message and a call whisper. The greeting message is what someone will hear when they phone a number. The call whisper message is what the person who is receiving the forwarded call will hear on their phone. When a prospect dials in, they only hear the greeting message, they don't hear the call whisper. In order to set up a flow, click on the Flows button up the top here, and then click on the plus sign. If you wanted to do a call forward, you would select Call Forward from the drop-down menu, choose a phone number, put any notes in here you wish, and then select the call whisper file, and then click Save. You should also make sure that you give the call flow a name by clicking on this drop-down menu here. So let's do that first. Then you need to select your incoming phone number and click Add. Now we can go ahead and save this flow. Going back to Edit, I'm going to add in the call forward feature just here, and click Save at the top again. If I wanted to, I could change this to a greeting message and then follow on by a call forward. So let's do that now. Select Greeting here, then File or Text. Text will give you a robo voice. By selecting File, I'm going to choose one of my pre-recorded messages and then click Save. Now I'm going to add in the call forwarding by pressing the blue arrow button here. So this time I'm going to select Call Forward, choose a phone number, and then add in any notes here, and I'm going to choose my call whisper. Now I'll click Save again, and then Save up here one more time just to make sure. Finally, I'd also like to give the person who's dialing in the opportunity to subscribe via text message, so I'm going to click on the blue arrow again, and this time select Subscribe, and then choose one of my campaigns. If the person's dialing in on a mobile phone, they'll get a text message back requesting that they join the demo campaign. Click on Save, and save up here just to make sure, and we're done. Clicking back onto the Flows button at the top here enables us to see the number of call flows we've now got on the system. If you want to have more than one number associated with this call flow, simply click on this cell phone icon and the plus sign, and then you'll be given the option to choose another number. This particular call flow will be triggered by either of these numbers being dialed in. Let me edit this second call flow one more time to show you something else. If there's no answer on the phone, then you need to give the option to hang up. That completes the call flow process. If you wanted to, you could get them through onto a menu and then select menu options. Let me just show you how to do this. Here you would need to find a suitable file to initiate the menu so that when the person dialed in, they would get the menu option voice with a number of options which we'll fill in below here. In this example I'm going to put in 2 numbers, although you can add in more if you wish to do so by clicking on the plus button up here. Each one of these numbers that the person can dial on their phone can trigger any one of these new call flows. So for example, if they press 1 on their phone, then they could leave a voicemail. With 2, we could call forward them somewhere else, and 3, we could choose the option to hear the main menu again. In order to finish these off, I would need to fill in these details here and here, and also select a file or RoboVoice text in order for the greeting to be valid. Clicking Save completes the call flow process. Call flows are a very complex part of the text messaging platform, and it's highly recommended that you test your call flows before going live. In this video I'm going to show you how to send bulk SMS messages. Click on Send SMS Now, then choose whether or not you want to have SMS or voice. In this particular case I'm going to select SMS, and then you'd select the groups that you want to send the message to, and you can append the text message with your terms and conditions. Click Send Now when you're ready. If you're sure, then go ahead and click OK. This shows you that 2 messages have been sent. Let me show you how to set up a new SMS broadcast. Click on the plus green button here, then select RoboVoice, MP3 or SMS. RoboVoice or MP3 will dial the phone number, SMS sends a text message. I'm going to choose a text message. Then click Save, and you can see it down here. In order to send the message, I click on the SMS again, select the groups that I want to send it to, add on my terms and conditions, which you can set in this section here, and then click Send Now, followed by OK. And here you can see that the message has been successfully sent with no fails. That's how to send an SMS broadcast bulk message. In this video I'm going to show you how to add a phone number. Click on the plus phone button up here, then click on this blue button here and then select from one of the following countries: United States, Canada, United Kingdom, US toll-free or existing. I'm going to choose a United States number. I can select via area code or state. I'm going to choose state in this particular example and find a number in California. Once I've selected my area code, then I just click on the number selection here and choose a suitable number, and then click the buy button. You can see now that this number is added to my list and is currently not used in any campaigns. That's how to add a phone number to your text messaging platform.